we are. It's been quite some time since I've done a update as far as my Ring Fit stuff has been going, and I pretty much said last time that I wasn't going to do another update until I at least finally finished the game and see where everything was at once that was done. And here we are. As of this week, I have finally, after 7 months, it's probably taken me a lot longer to do it than most people, but I mean, I was only doing workouts every other day, so 3 times a week. But yeah, after 7 months, we're done. I finally was able to finish Adventure Mode in Ring Fit Adventure, and we're here to talk a little bit about what's happened since then, where I've hit, what my numbers were at the end, and really what I plan on doing from here now that I'm done with Adventure Mode. So yes, 28 weeks, almost to the nose. I finished it yesterday, which was Friday, and I'm recording this on a Saturday. So even though I started everything on the 21st of December, so yeah, it should be 28 weeks almost exactly on the day I'm recording this. And with the numbers I hit, now when you beat Adventure Mode, they give you a final tally. It's like, they don't give you like every single thing that you did, but you know, the general numbers are, and they usually track them, are, okay, you hit this many hours played, you hit this many calories burned, this many miles ran, and then how many, RingCon reps that you've done in the meantime. So for mine, I hit 32 hours, 57 minutes, and 32 seconds. With calories burned, it was 8,613.54 calories. I ran the approximation of 65.29 miles, and the amount of RingCon presses that I had was 21,066 presses, which seems like it should be more the amount of times I pressed that, but I don't know if that's calculating what I would do just offline to earn, coins during that. And the important one, the one they really can't tell you because you need to be tracking that yourself, the important one I hit 29 pounds lost during this entire time. I haven't weighed myself since the mid part of this current week that I'm filming this in, but I finally hit 146.1 pounds. So I've lost well beyond what I was originally intending to, where it was let's do 15 pounds, let's see what we can do there. And then if we can, push it along a little bit further, maybe we can do that. I'll actually throw some of the photos I took a couple of weeks ago when I was around 149 pounds or so, because that was the first time I actually decided I was going to share with most people, hey, look at what's happening to me physically. I think I look a little bit thinner than I feel, or maybe that I actually look in those photos, but at the same time, for me, it was one of those things where instead of looking at myself in the mirror and seeing it, and you're going to see yourself from a certain perspective, when someone takes a photo of you, it shows you a perspective that you normally can't see. And that was the time where it really started to click into my head, where I went, oh my God, wow, I've had a lot of progress in the last 6 months. Holy shit, cool. I was even talking to a friend of mine recently that I think I'd mentioned to them a couple of times that I was starting to work out, but I never actually shared any of my progress with them. Wasn't sharing much of the weight loss and anything like that. So I finally had these photos to be able to share with them. And, of course they have the reaction of, holy shit, you look great, you must feel great. I'm like, yeah. At the same time, I was telling them I felt like I had really accomplished something. I hit a big achievement, but at the same time, in my normal fashion, I'm just thoroughly unimpressed at the same time. It's like, okay, cool, yeah, I did it, whatever, which has been a thing this entire time. Just not giving myself enough credit, or not thinking that this was a really big achievement. There's times I do, and there's a lot of times I don't. And they had to reply back to me and say, not everybody can lose almost 30 pounds. Not everybody can lose almost 30 pounds and keep it off, because some people can lose it and they, something might end up happening during that time frame and they'll gain it back. It's tough to do, and to keep yourself in the right mindset and keep motivated. And that's one of the things I think a lot of folks, it's one thing to find something that you want to do, but it's much harder to continue doing it after a certain period of time, because a month, 2 months, unless you're seeing the results and you're feeling the results and you want to continue on with it, sometimes it's hard. And I've found that even with this is the first thing that's ever been able to stick, where once I started it, I wanted to continue doing it. You know, there's definitely been times where I thought, and that's one of my problems with Ring Fit, and I don't want to go too much into it because I think I just drag everything down, that as a game I have issues with it because I believe it runs out of shit to do, and it ends up kind of repeating itself continuously until the end of the game. You know, never mind the really long final boss battle, which takes like over a half hour to complete in real time, you know, as you're doing all these different reps, because you have, you know, 2 different forms you have to fight. You know, my biggest issue was after like world 13 or 14, it starts repeating levels. And it's like, okay, you guys clearly ran out of stuff with this. You probably could have cut at least 3 worlds out, made it to like 20, because there's 23 worlds, and just, you know, done away with that and not made it such a slog, because sometimes it does feel like a slog. But aside from all that, in terms of its presentation and in terms of being able to do it easily here in my home, certainly here in my room, and not have to worry about it, that's big to me. That made it so much easier, and that took the barrier of entry out of things. It took the anxiety of having to work out around people. I didn't have to do this in front of people. I could close my door, everything's cool, and I could do this on my own time and not have to worry about that. All the outside worries, gone. Didn't have to worry about that anymore. So yeah, not giving myself enough credit and enough, you know, pats on the back here and there about what I've been able to accomplish. That is something that this I can't believe it. I can't believe it's been 7 months since I started all of this, and you know, my original goal was 160 pounds, and I'm below that. Like, I'm almost, once I hit 145, 140 now feels like it's something that I could hit. Beyond that, I'm not so sure anymore, because I even thought when I hit 145, that's double my original goal, and maybe at that point I can just shift into maintenance mode, because I don't want to gain stuff back. Even though I'm done with the adventure mode, there's still stuff I could do with the game. I may even start a new game plus, even though I was kind of iffy about that, just to be able to keep the routine going. The thing I'm afraid of is slipping and gaining weight back. Like, I didn't work this hard, you know, over time to then start to gain some of that back. Like, if I went back up to 150, I don't think I'd be, you know, I'm not gonna be heartbroken. I'd like to stay within, you know, the 145, 150 range if I decided to stop here and then go into maintenance, because then at that point, I'm not getting much bigger anymore. But man, I can't imagine going back up to that weight again. Not after all this work. I can't let that happen. So that's something I have to bear in mind and make sure that I continue to work on and maintain. Like, even if I don't do Ring Fit anymore, at the very least, I can always still track my eating. I still go for walks and everything like that. So it's something that I can do to be able to keep everything on there. I will admit, it was a bit emotional ending the game, because it felt like the end of a journey, really. Even though there isn't this, you know, big grand ending spectacle, it's kind of like, okay, we did this, now everybody's good, and then, you know, that's it. And the credits start to roll, but you know, then you get at the end, it says, oh, thank you for exercising, and then they give you the final rundown and everything. And like, whenever you start up the exercises, you're looking at a character named Tip, who's usually showing off some of the forms, but he's also going through your dynamic and static stretches before and after the exercises and everything. And they're showing them, and they're going over everything, and he's celebrating your accomplishments and whatnot. So yeah, it was one of those things where you can't help but get emotional, because I was trying to get to the end of the game, because that was going to be like, okay, when I started it, that's the beginning of this journey. Even if ending the game isn't the end of it, and I'm not going to stop doing what I've been doing, at the same time, it is kind of like, okay, there is some finality to it. To see, where have you started, and where are you ending at right now? What's the difference? Where have you gone? And yeah, to think that I'm 30 pounds lighter than I was 7 months ago. I was really concerned whether or not I was losing weight at a healthy rate, and I would think 30 pounds in 7 months, that should be all right. And yeah, a video game helped me do that. I always figured that if anything was ever going to get me into working out and taking a little bit better care of myself, that was going to be it. But I don't think I ever expected the kind of results I got out of this, ever. and what it would turn into, and how consistent I would be with it, and that I would stick with it, because there's lots of times, especially with games, where I start them and I'm like, I'll lose interest in a week and I'll put it off to the side. Maybe I'll get back to it in a couple of years. Maybe I'll never play it again. You know, it happens. And with stuff like this, that was a fear, and I didn't want to discuss my workout stuff early on. I thought, man, if I start talking about it, something's gonna happen. It's gonna demotivate me, and it kind of almost did after I did that 5-week update earlier this year. But I managed to be able to continue with it, and having that routine and having something to focus on, certainly during everything that's been happening during the first half of this year, has been so unbelievably helpful to me in my own mental well-being, and having goals to work towards. Just, it keeps you motivated. It keeps some kind of brightness in your day and in your week that you wouldn't have otherwise. If I didn't have this, I can't imagine how slow time would pass by, and how bad things would seem, you know, in contrast to how bad they actually are. I think it would be much, much worse. But having, again, something like this to work on, it's been amazing, honestly, and I'm amazed at myself, and I can't believe I did it. But here we are. You know, it's done. I've lost that much weight, and I've put that much time in, and I don't plan on giving it up. I don't plan on giving it up at any point. This is going to keep going. You know, whether or not I get any lighter, whether or not I shift into trying to put on more muscle or do anything, that's besides the point. Maybe we can talk about that later. But with what I've gained so far, I'm not giving that up. This is weird for me to say. Yeah, it's weird to think that I would take a shine to this, but I clearly have, and I want to keep at it. So as we close this out, I want to say a big thank you to my buddy Chris. He was the reason I have Ring Fit. That was a Christmas present to me, and it was something that I had talked about wanting, and he's really big into fitness and taking care of himself, so he was like, I'm gonna help somebody out, here you go. And that's also the person he ended up buying the shirt as things started picking up for me. I have a medium-sized one. The pictures I showed earlier were of the medium-sized shirt, which is why it looks a little bit tighter on me. It's because it is. Mediums will fit me, not extremely well, because it's still a little tight up here in the shoulders and everything. I'm kind of broad-shouldered, so unfortunately that's not the best shirt size for me. Large kind of is, but I think mediums at least show off, hey, yeah, you've lost some weight, man. But yeah, it was thanks to him just being the motivating factor, because I gave him crap about it when he started tracking his eating and he started doing stuff again, and then I was right there with him once I started up, and having the motivating factor and somebody with some good advice, but really just being that first kick in the pants where it's like, here's something you can do, get started, and you know, see what'll happen. And here we are. So thank you, my friend. Thank you again for this and everything. It's, yeah, 7 months. Wow, really been 7 months. This year's, as bad as this year has been, it's flown by in any case. But that's gonna be it for me, guys. I got nothing else to talk about on this. I'm sure I could, but it's gonna run too long. I've already been rambling anyways. But from here on out, I don't know. I don't have any other updates for Ring Fit now that I've kind of completed adventure mode. Maybe we'll do one at the end of the year, though. And once we get to around the 21st of December, which will be the 1-year anniversary of me starting this, we'll see where I'm sitting at and what my weight looks like, how any goals I've set in the meantime have worked out, and what we're doing. But you know, hopefully you guys are doing well out there. Hopefully your own journeys with fitness, or if you've been using Ring Fit, if you can find it, it's still pretty hard to find. But if you've been doing it, let me know down in the comments, and let me know how you guys have, how that's worked out for you, because hopefully, like with me and like with a lot of other people that I've seen that have been doing this, you've had some really good results, and it'd be nice to hear your stories. So yeah, chime in down below. And if you like videos like this, give me a thumbs up. I'd always appreciate it. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me, guys. and we did it. We did it. But in any case, you guys take care of yourselves for now and stay safe. Make sure to wear masks while you're out there in the world, because it's still dangerous and still kind of scary. But keep your head up, take care of yourselves, and we'll hopefully see you guys next time. Until then, you guys have a good one. Thanks for watching.